Uprisers, hi, it is Trisha LaCroix once again with Sacred Uprising Institute and Retreat. And our retreat is taking place September 18th, 19th, and 20th in Watsonville, California. And today I have Shanti Elizabeth. She is jumping on the video, and she is going to be one of our speakers, and she's going to be talking about what she's going to be sharing with us at the conference. And Shanti, I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you, Trisha. I'm happy to be here.
So I wanted to let everybody know, Shanti and I have known each other for about 2 years, and we met through her talking to one person, and I was talking to that person who was also a spiritual leader, and she introduced us, and boom, we became fast friends. And our friendship was really based, and is really based, on a beautiful spiritual platform. Shanti has been very crucial in my spiritual walk. She has activated me. She has explained so much to me. She has held my hand, and we have been brought back together for this conference. But more than that, it is for this new one consciousness that is anchoring into our planet right now as we speak. And Shanti has so much wisdom and so much to share with us about it. And at the conference, she is going to be discussing infinite love from 0 point. And she has 2 sessions. That's one session. And then she has another session, which is actually going to be a meditation, which we'll talk about here in a moment. So Shanti, for those who don't understand what 0 point is, can you explain, hey Annette, can you explain what 0 point is?
First, Trisha, thank you so much. As you know, this is the first time I've agreed to talk about the journey, and it is because it's you and the purity of what you're bringing through. And I am very grateful, first and foremost, to be here. So you asked, what is 0 point? So the simple explanation of what 0 point is the point in your heart where you have perfect equilibrium, perfect balance between the masculine and feminine energies that's within you, because that is the essence and formula of who our creator is. And so for our creation to happen through us, we need to align ourselves to that 0 point. And it's very simple. It is the word love, which you've been, anchoring in and talking about with all your other teachers and, and yourself. So it's just, how do we go from here? And, what does it mean to anchor that infinite love from 0 point and start that creation process?
And
so
I posted on Facebook today, 369 is infinite love, which is creation, which is 0 point. And so can you explain, the universe was created from 369. Tesla, like I said, I
Tesla
posted a video today. But can you explain, so if we're going to manifest or create from our heart, it's a clear reflection on how creation happened, correct?
Right. So, the easiest way to explain that, and I will say it in layman's term because that's how it was organically unfolding in me. 369 are numbers, numerology. It's sacred geometry. And that's how creation happens. It's not through mentalizing with thoughts, but our feelings. And it comes from a vibration. And 369 holds certain vibration. And 3, I will just talk about the 3 is the triangle.
Yes.
And the triangle is father, mother, and child. It is where the tetrahedron is the building block that builds all the other sacred geometries. And for all of us, we don't have to complicate it. It is organically happening within us. It is how our energy field is unfolding at every moment. And for those who choose to learn sacred geometry more, they will understand why 369 appears everywhere. They're iterations of 3, and Tesla said, if you understand that, you will have the whole universe to create, and that's what that is. And there's a lot more tactical explanation for it, but we
Right.
don't. I'm happy to share some of the slides that have come through. I work through PowerPoints and I put them in slides, and at the conference, we'll build that up so that we can all do it together.
Right.
um,
Right.
as an energy. It's all energy, and it's about building up that frequency.
Right. And what is so beautiful is that since I've known you, you have been sending me these PowerPoints, and what you told me was this. And because I was like, Shanti, I don't understand these. They were so complicated to me at the time. And you said, you don't have to, just look at them. And
Yes.
that was part of the creation of who I've become, was just looking at them. Just like the book of Enoch, or the book of
Yeah.
knowledge, the keys of Enoch. I don't understand everything it says. I don't have to. I read it and it starts shifting me.
I'm glad you said that, because it is the same format that I've been guided to bring through the session at the conference, is that while we are looking at the slides, there's a transmission that is happening.
Yes,
So,
yes.
and what I will do is invite everyone to open from that hard point, from 0 point, so that they can receive that transmission easily. And you spoke about the keys of Enoch. One of the reasons why fire or light language is very pure is because it takes away from our human language and our human systematic paradigms that have been programmed into us, and it allows for a very pure vehicle of transmission. So, and that's the format that I've been, using since 2010, and all the work with, different souls that have come together to amplify this at different sacred sites. But this is the first time I've said yes to sharing this with a group, because it's time to bring it to others.
Yeah, I was, when I first was, Charles had mentioned, Charles is my beloved, and he said, you should ask Shanti, to speak at the conference. And I said, Shanti does everything very quietly. She travels all over the world, and she goes to sacred sites, and she does ceremonies. She does not go to conferences and speak. And it was until, hey, Jason, and then it wasn't until later that all of a sudden I heard from my guides, I needed to ask you. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to kill me. I think my text for you was, don't yell at me, but I want to talk to you about
That's
something.
exactly what you said, and I very clearly heard the divine say, "You will say yes. We'll work through this." And this video is the first of I've ever done, and I can feel that they're holding me in sacred divine vibration to say the words, because I've stepped out of the way and I've asked, okay, what do you want me to transmit today? And that's what's coming through. And again, I'm grateful. And one of the things we have to do is to have those breakthroughs from our personal paradigms. And coming in front of the camera is a big one for me. I can tell you right now that it's like they're not even allowing those thoughts to come in, because this is too important. This is too important.
Well, the beautiful thing about, when you're going to be talking about, and if you guys go to sacreduprising.com, you can look at, I think her bio has been updated. If not, it'll be updated the next, by Monday. But you can see she has traveled all over the world. I was just looking to see, I have your old bio, but she's traveled all over the world, from France to Brazil,
to Central
she's been everywhere,
Mexico.
doing these ceremonies. Doing these ceremonies. She has done the work. She's been doing the work to anchor into this new consciousness of oneness that we are now starting to, it's rising up, and we all can feel it rising. We see it, we see the old paradigm crumbling away. We see it in our government. We see how people are starting to rise up and go, no, we're one. And so Shanti has been part of that process. Now, I do want to talk about how 0 Point will change people's lives. But before we get into that, I want to mention the whole premise for the Sacred Uprising Retreat is, and I'm going to quote this, is mastering the playful creation of love. And that means We have 6 speakers that are going to be at this conference, and these 6 speakers are part of the foundation of the 6 rings in the flower of life. Those rings, the flower of life, if you know, is creation. So we are going to be teaching you the 6 steps of creating what you want in your life, to transcend your life, to your existence, to what it is that you deserve, what is rightfully yours, your inheritance, the reason why you agreed to come to earth in human form, to live this life. Nobody deserves, nobody asks to go, okay, I want my life to be lack. That's not what is for us. This is supposed to be heaven, heaven on earth. We're anchoring that in, and we are going to teach you how to do it. Now, one of those steps is 0 point. So tell us, how will, with people coming to the conference and what you're going to be teaching, one of these keys that you're going to be teaching, how will this transform people's lives?
So Trisha, you said a couple of things, talking about play. Okay. So before I go into that explanation, one of the things that's really important in having alchemy happen is to go into that magical space of being a child. Children know how to play, and children know how to create magic because they are not in their heads, but they're in their hearts. And so I invite everyone to bring their magical child to the conference, and that way it will flow very easily. Every step that you say that each teacher is going to be teaching is going to build on each other, and then we'll come to this point and where you have an understanding. Okay, I have an understanding of what my heart is, what is Christ consciousness, what is that flame that's in my heart. So, and you will recognize that 0 point is that still point, of balance that's inside you, where it's not something you can think, it is something you feel. And that vibration is something that you can, like I said, you can't explain to somebody, but you can feel it.
Right.
And what the session is going to do, and what the transmission is, and some of the explanations that will happen, is to provide that guidance so that you can say, oh, I felt it, and then you build on it, because you have these moments of what, if you had to use a human word, it's these human experiences of bliss, of total joy, total happiness. You're just totally blissed out, and you're like, okay, what is that? And that comes from 0 point. We've been programmed to think in linear time. That means, you have time and you have space that moves with that time. 0 point is you're in the present moment, there's no time, and you are in all space, where you're just like, you're with your higher self in your body, and you just know I can,
No.
you can
Yeah.
feel it. And
Yeah.
it's hard to explain verbally, because it
It
is
is.
is
Because
an
you the
energetic
definition.
feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I would like to say, though, is that a lot of us came onto this planet, especially the ones who are assigned and said yes to the mission, didn't choose an easy path. Um, and that's the contrast we've lived. So many of the participants who are saying yes to the conference are the ones that have either started their journey and they're like, okay, I'm ready to go to the next level, or the ones who say, okay, something's not, I need a change, this is not it, this is not me. And so it's like, who is that I am that is to come into the self? Who is that sovereign being
Yeah.
that you're
Right.
truly
Right.
emanating? And when you are in that sovereign self, you will overcome fears like wanting to stay behind the scenes and come out and say, okay, I can do this, because it's not
Right.
about me, it is about sharing the gift and the wisdom that has been imparted on you, and you have a responsibility to share it with your fellow journeying sovereign beings at different levels, and say, okay, how can we do this together? And so,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And by the way, we have Lori Green watching right now. She's one of our speakers. We have Jason Michael Powers. He's another one of our speakers, and we did a video with him and his beloved Heather yesterday on what they're going to be talking about. But you brought up, I love that you say it's a feeling, and it's when you try to put it in a box and define it, you lose the feeling. You had said something when we talked earlier. You said, and Jason Michael, you'll love this. The magic of alchemy works through play, which was, and I was like, oh my gosh, our tagline, which we just changed, was mastering the playful creation of love. And it is about play. I find that people who live a spiritual life or live a life in play where they see the miracles in everything, they see the delight, the bliss, the joy in everything, they tend to attract more miracles in their life. And when we're serious and we're, in our heads and putting, to the grind, then we've lost the playfulness. I mean, even if we want to talk biblically, it says to look at things with childlikeness, and that's where it's at. That's being heart-centered. That is that razor edge that you can sit on and balance, and you find that there is nothing but bliss and infinite love, and the word love doesn't even encompass what that really truly is. Right?
So yes, and so how they showed that to me when I was working on a process in 2015 was they showed the elements, like water, fire. These are the building blocks, and they said there's a sixth element, and I was like, okay, and the way it was shown is that the sixth element is love. It's your heart, and and I will share the sacred geometry of what that looks like, because it's the union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine at 0 point that creates that sacred geometry and creates that sixth element, which is the ingredient for that alchemy to happen, and for magic to happen. And in that work that was done between 2014 and 2015, mainly in south of France, was to heal the wounded masculine and the wounded feminine. And what came out were these two fairy beings. They looked like children with wings on it. And they literally showed me those pictures and said, these are the magical children. It's your inner magical child. And that is the place you create from. Because you don't ask, oh, I need proof, because that's not what magic is. Magic is believing in.
You just believe.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Lori just said, unless you become as little children, you'll not see the kingdom of God. And that, oh my gosh, Lori, oh my gosh, that is so true. That just gave me chills. That is so good. So good.
Yeah.
Now, we've said several times about, we can't put it in words. So I think this is a good time to shift into light language. And Shanti, and I need to tell, I'm so excited about this. Shanti, she has been blessed and entrusted with creating these beautiful paintings of light language. She writes light language, and I had the joy of having her at my house this weekend. And she had sent me a beautiful, I should have brought it out. I might go and get the one that's over here. It's called The Creator Mind. And which has so much meaning for me, especially with an upgrade that I had received. And I was led to put it in our bedroom. But then she mailed me, and it wasn't the original painting, but it's on canvas. And then she did a little bit of painting over it, and she wrote light language on it. And it's called The Divine Union. And when Charles and I saw it, he was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And so I was led to put it here in my office. And the interesting thing is the energy in our house shifted immediately. And I then immediately was like, I gotta change the house up. I didn't know what was going on. So I started moving things around and getting rid of stuff. And even my housekeeper came over, and she goes, your house has always had a good vibration, but what just happened? And so I want to tell you, she is going to be selling these at the conference. She also, I have my scroll. She is also going to be writing scrolls for people for you right there. Whatever is transmission to her when you want to scroll, she will write it. And I know this one is based on my divine union with my beloved. And this is our mission is right in here. and this is what she is going to be doing. So let's just explain what light language is, and then talk a little bit about these beautiful pieces of art that have been entrusted to you to sell at the conference.
So the first transmission of this light language came in 2015 when I remember I said the sixth element.
Yes.
So that's how it came, and there were 7 pieces that came in to match the 7 chakras. And at that time, I had no idea that this was going to expand further. I just thought, oh, it's just for this particular piece, for this work that ends in 2015. But in December 31st of 2017, I was told that there are going to be 13 keys that come in. 2018 adds up to 11, so it's a doorway, and that one of the pieces that I have to do in this lifetime is to bring these keys in. So I'm like, I'm not an artist. How am I going to do this? And then what the explanation that was given to me was that from the keys of Enoch, the energy and the fire language brings in the pure essence of source without,
Yes.
it's unadulterated. It doesn't have my mental mapping in there. It doesn't have anybody's mental mapping in there. And so when these glyphs, they're called energy drawings, come in, I get out of the way, and then I just bring in whatever comes in. And, the example was, I texted you that day and I said, Trisha, do you know what, do you have any connection with the divine creator mind? And because that's what I was told, I have to make a piece for you. And then I did the 6 circles for the flower of life, but they wanted me to do a different drawing in it. I was like, what's going on here? And they're like, stop talking in your head, do what we tell you to do. And I did. And then lo and behold, when I showed it to you, you said, oh my God, it's the peony, which,
which is our logo, right?
Exactly. So that's how it is that it comes in very organically, and I get downloads to bring them in, and I've been asked to share these pieces. And what I've been told is that the individual pieces and the larger pieces, they shift the vibration of the matrix. That means the space you're in and who you are. And that's why the scrolls are pieces they're 2 different individual pieces. One I call a universal key, which will be an original piece that you can pre-order, or if you order at the conference, I sit with you and speak with your higher self and then bring that key in. And I'll explain in the session why the geometry is what it is, and how it comes in and how it has come in for others. So I'll show you examples of them. And then you have the scroll, the one that like yours, which is an expanded one because it's for the divine union. It's for both of you. But they're individual ones that and it doesn't take very long.
No.
I sit with the individual, and it will come in, and it will be done. And for anyone who wants to advance their journey, that can be done. The other thing are the prints. If you pre-order the prints, then I can, I'll get downloads on what to add. And that's what happened with the Divine Union piece that you had, that I sent to you, is because it is customized and individualized to your Zen Charles's energies. So that's how it works. And there are 5 galactic keys that came in specifically for this conference. It has to do with manifestation, and it's a common word that everybody uses, but I'm sharing right now, it is not from here. It's from that 0 point. And what they downloaded to me was what's called a manifestation wheel, and it's written in fire language. And then there are 4 other elements, and you can create a cube out of it. So the prints are always in equal measurements. It's by 8 by 8 or 12 by 12. So, and you literally, you can create a box with it, and you can put your intentions. In fact, you can put your scroll in it. You can, there are many ways. Yeah. That's what I did, was that I put the scroll in it, and then you create your magic, and it's play. And I say play because you have to experiment with this, and you have to filter, because you can manifest anything, the good, the positive, and the negative. So you have to be very mindful how you you create.
Right.
And that is what we are here to do, to learn a new way of building in the matrix of light, because this
Right.
crystalline matrix we're living in, we have the opportunity to help humanity and mass consciousness by taking up our sovereign, staff and saying, I'm going to do this. So
Right. Right.
that is the main reason I said yes, Trisha, because it's like these these um these glyphs that are coming in are very important, especially this year. There are many doors that are opening, so I'm happy to share them with whoever feels aligned to have them. And if you know you can either pre-order or do it at the conference. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I will,
Yeah.
I will work with
We'll be
whichever way.
showing people. Shanti's going to be submitting pictures of what she's done, what we're going to be selling. People will have the opportunity to reserve them ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, as somebody who doesn't, I don't have the original Divine Union. I have the original Creator Mind, and I have this one. It has changed my house. I can't even Shanti coming to my house this weekend. I won't even call it that I had a new graduation or it was an ascension. I had a huge change, new gifts downloaded. She was witness to it. And what was so beautiful about it is after it happened, she happened to open the book of Enoch that night and read exactly what happened to me, what I was saying, what was going on with me. I got to tell you, the people that were calling in that have heard the clarion call to be speakers at this conference. I mean, we are, it is the masters that are the servants, and we want to serve you by helping you to create, because if you can transform your life, you've transformed all of ours. It just doesn't happen to one. It's about one consciousness. It's about the collective.
Yeah.
That being said, before we go, let's talk about your Medtronic meditation.
Metatronic meditation.
Yeah, and she will be doing it right after she teaches about infinite love from 0 point. That will prepare us for the meditation. So please tell us about that.
Yeah, so since 2010, when I was going to these sacred sites, I would get downloads on how to do certain things, and there was always geometry involved. And sometimes I would be asked to use sacred oils or other tools like crystals, and and the beings of light would specifically say, how to unfold that ceremony. And in 2015, when I was preparing for this Metatronic process at Grotto of Mary Magdalene, that's the first time Archangel Metatron said, this is a Metatronic altar and this is a Metatronic process, because creation happens through Metatron's cube. So those are the energies that are coming in. But he was very specific about the anchoring of if you could visualize on the clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. Archangel Metatron holds the point at 12 o'clock. Archangel Michael holds the point at 9 o'clock. Lord Melchizedek holds the point at 3 o'clock. And the 6 o'clock point is called the House of the Mother. It's all the mothers. And these are 4 very specific points that I was instructed that must be part of the Metatronic altar. It creates a diamond. It's called the Eye of God. It's the eye of the Creator. And so what happens is that it's done in a group setting. It amplifies everything into what's called a torus. That means we amplify the movement of that energy. And so at the conference, there will be a Metatronic formation that we do as a group, but there'll be other things that come in. For example, there'll be an earth marble with the word gratitude on it that I'm gifting to every participant, because it's a marble that's made from Mount Shasta, and it has a lot of sentimental value to the energy, and it will be anointed and charged before it's brought to the conference, and we will be forming a geometry with everyone, and as well as other tools, and we'll be doing it as a group, and it's something you experience, and and it's not just us, it's a co-creation with the company of heaven, I call it, all the light beings, and creator source, and this is the first time though that I've been there's a piece that's coming in on July 22nd, which I'll bring the original to the conference to hold the energy. It's called the Fire 6. It is 6 Metatrons cube, in one. And it is going to, and it's going to be a larger piece that's going to hold the energy for this Metatronic meditation, as well as I'll bring the original of the Divine Union, because the Divine Union is what happens at 0 point in our hearts. So it is the theme of what we're doing, and why we're doing it is because this is an opportunity for us to be in service to humanity, to mass consciousness, to amplify the light. And it is a quantum field that we will create. And for anybody who's like, oh, what is that? I don't understand. Don't worry about it. Just
worry about it.
Be in your childlike beingness and say, I'm playing. This is all you have to do. I'm playing. I'm having fun. I'm expanding from my heart with love. And that's all that we need to know. Everything else is taken care of. Everything else is energy. Your higher self knows why you're there.
Right. So. It's exactly. If you hear the call, then come to the retreat. Come to the retreat.
Yeah.
I before we go, I just want to, mention, go to sacreduprising.com. You can see on there, it's going to be in Watsonville, California. It is just north of Santa Cruz. And the prices, we have prices that range. If you can't be there, there's a price that starts at $300 for live streaming of all the sessions, and it goes up to, I think, $900. That includes everything from your lodging. It includes all your vegetarian meals. It includes all the snacks. It includes a charter bus from San Jose Airport, where you'll want to fly into, to the conference, and then back again at the end of the conference. It includes all these amazing sessions that you are going to have the opportunity to sit and learn how to create in your life, to transcend your life. Because I got to tell you, my life is beautiful. I've lived these steps. That's why I went through all the things that I had to go through, because I needed to learn the steps individually. And then I was told it was time to teach it. But it wasn't for me to do all the teaching. I needed to call the people in that not only can teach it, but who are living it, that it is manifesting in their life. We are like spiritual scientists that are proving that it works. And while my life is absolutely beautiful, Shanti, from 2 years ago, it's completely different, right?
Very different.
Completely different. But there are still areas of my life that I want to transform, that I want to transcend. And this conference is even going to help me. And I guarantee every one of our speakers wants to hear what's going to be taught, because it will change their lives. It's simple, simple steps on the creation for your existence. You are the divine in human form. So create from that 0 point within yourself. You can create anything you want. Instead of having a genie in a bottle, we have it in our heart, and we can create anything we want, but you have to learn the steps to do it. And this retreat will be able to put you in that high vibrational stance to accept and draw it in. It will help you. It will transform your life. The additional thing for the, I announced this yesterday. I don't know how many people signed up already, but for the next 10 people, I am gifting. It is a light body activation. I will be doing it one-on-one with people, and I usually charge over $300 for that. But instead, I'm gifting it to the next 10 people who get tickets for the conference. So go to sacreduprising.com and you can purchase tickets. We are tweaking the website. We're changing things, and it's beautiful. It's this creation process is happening for Sacred Uprising, so things keep evolving and we keep adding and shifting a little bit, just to make sure that everything is of the right vibration. So Shanti, first of all, I say this to everybody, and I mean it from the deepest parts of my soul and spirit. I am so grateful that we were aligned in such a beautiful way, that you felt led to speak at this retreat, to help people along their path. You've done so much for our world and our universe, just for everything that you've done with the sacred sites and the traveling, and you've done the work. I know your rewards are already here and more coming, and you know what I'm talking about. But to take it to yet another step and to work with people one-on-one, I think, you know, you've changed my life every time that we've been in contact with one another, and you're going to change others' lives. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Trisha. And I'm very grateful to participate and you know, help through this conference.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So everyone, thank you for watching. We will be doing more videos with more of our speakers. Go to our YouTube channel. There will be a folder there that says speakers from our Sacred Uprising Retreat Fall 2018. And you can watch all the videos just to get a sneak peek on what you're going to be learning when you're at the retreat. Shanti, thank you. Everyone,
Thank
happy
you.
July 4th. Have a great day. Be safe.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.